Today, I'll be ranking every single Wasabi power all the way from the worst to the best one. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and let's start with the worst of the worst. Stu's Wasabi power. Those 6 projectiles are just useless. What am I meant to do with that? They deal practically 0 damage, and they don't even charge your super practically at all, so there is practically 0 utility to these Wasabi power. Like, if there was one Wasabi that I would really hate to receive, this would be it. With the mutation it can be cool, but truth being said, it's just not that great. The damage, it's just too insignificant, and it just doesn't charge the super nearly enough. Next, in 58th place, we have Gray, and whenever you teleport, you have like 6 gadgets in all directions. It sounds cool, but unfortunately the gadgets don't deal any damage, so there is a possibility of this actually being really bad for you. It's not the best thing in the world, it's very similar to Stu, doesn't charge your super, but I can see the pull being very helpful, but at the same time I can see this being almost a death sentence. Like, imagine if you pulled like an El Primo or a Shelly, you would be dead. So because of this Wasabi power needs to be in bottom 2. Next, in 57th place, we have Rosa, like again at the bottom. Last time she got bushes with the super, and now she has bushes with the basic attack. One single bush, like, I get that it will be a lot after a while, but this is just way too hard to get value off. Next, in 56th place, we have Shelly, and I don't know about you, but that just seems to be not enough super projectiles, like, and if Shelly had her old super recharge rate, I could definitely see this as a buff, but this just simply does not seem to be any helpful. I could even say that it could in some scenarios be very unhelpful. Next, in 55th place, we have Brock, and I mean, it's cool, more burning area, but how helpful is that really going to be? I have my doubts. People just casually run away of that burning area, and I don't really think it's that much larger in comparison to the nowadays. It's obviously a lot bigger, but it's still not that big of an area control, so because of that, these will have to be at the bottom. Next, in 54th place, we have Mo, and I mean, it's cool, and lasting a lot longer in the duel can be very helpful with the second star power, but I just don't see this being that big of a deal. It's not a horrible mutation, or I mean Wasabi, but it just doesn't do enough. Next, in 53rd place, we have Charlie, where every once in a while you're moving you spawn a little spider. Like, it's just not good. You could have at least make the spider have regular stats. The spiders that you spawn have half the stats. I think that practically every single projectile in the game, because those spiders still have health decay, can destroy the tiny spiders, so the ability is essentially useless. Next we have Belle, and last time I really overestimated how good this ability was. This is exactly the same ability as it was in mutations. I could see this Wasabi being a lot better, because a lot of the other snipers' abilities are being indirectly nerfed, so maybe it could be better, but the ability itself is just way too underwhelming, really. Next we have Barley, and having double the duration on the basic attack is cool, but most of the times people already run away from your basic attack anyway. And because it doesn't apply anything to your super, I just have to consider this as a mediocre hypercharge. I mean, Wasabi. Next, in 50th place, we have Leon, and he spawns 2 clones, but now, this time, the clones actually attack enemies, but they don't have the same HP as you, which is kinda weird. So clearly these clones are meant to attack the enemy, which is fine, but again, they reveal you will go invisible, so I just don't see the clones being that helpful. The damage seems somewhat decent, but I just simply cannot see this being really that helpful for Leon. Now, starting from here, I will say that every single Wasabi, it's actually somewhat good, like C tier and above. And starting off, we have Mr. P. I could be severely underestimating the power of this ability, but it just looks very weird, like so weird. And the other tiny problem is that both of the second suitcases, they don't explode, so I can't really tell how helpful this is going to be, because it doesn't help with Mr. P's actual problem, which is self-defense, so I don't think this will change too much for Mr. P. Next, in 48th place, we have Crow's Daggers coming back. Pretty simple, and it's actually pretty reasonable for dealing damage, but it doesn't apply to your supers, so not really sure how helpful it is going to be. They do seem pretty deadly, especially against the wall. These will be very good, but I think it's just a little bit too specific, honestly, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see, honestly. Next we have Colt, and he now has longer range, and his basic attack destroys walls. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and I don't think it's the most impressive thing in the world. It's clearly not a bad thing, but again, they're just better mutations, so nothing really that special here. Next we have Lily, and her super just has like infinite rebounds range, which is insane, but at the same time it can be a little bit unfortunate from time to time. I could definitely see having the random possibility of just teleporting to somewhere you really didn't want, so because of the downsides, I'll just keep these Wasabi power in 46th place. Next we have 8-bit, and can have up to 6 turrets in the map. They don't stack, so that's a shame. Plus, how are we going to get even 2 on the map? Most of the times, I don't think you can actually even have, realistically speaking, I don't think you'll ever be able to get more than 2 turrets in the field, so that's why I'm placing this one so low. Next we have Draco, and as soon as you get your super, you'll stay on the super forever. Decent, nothing that insane, so that's why it's in 44th place. In 43rd place we have Carl, and even though it's really cool to have the super that fast, I just cannot see how really helpful that can be, with the exception of the hypercharge. Plus, this time around it doesn't make your basic attack faster, so because they're just better Wasabi powers, I just have to place Carl's ability here. Next we have Jessie, and her turret is insanely large, has more HP, and every once in a while shoots 3 projectiles instead of 1. Really helpful, but I think the real deal would be the hypercharged turret. But still, it's a really good Wasabi power, don't misinterpret me, but I just think that because of also how chaotic most of these Wasabi powers will be, the fact that it's just one single turret, it just won't do too much against most of the other Wasabi powers. Next we have Penny, and you spawn 2 mortars. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and again, I think this will be really good with the hypercharge, where you can just do insane damage. It'll be really fun, especially again with the hypercharge, but I don't think it's nothing that special. The mortars are easily killable either way because they're really close to each other, so nothing too crazy. Next we have Lola, and it's just 2 egos. Again, very good with the hypercharge, nothing too crazy because they spawn too close to each other. Next, in 39th place we have Tara, and it's pretty cool to summon the 3 extra shadows, but I honestly feel like they're kinda overkill. Like, most of the times people that get pulled towards your super will already die either way, so the extra shadows, I don't think they will be really that helpful. Next, in 38th place we have Pam's hypercharge, which actually turned out to be her Wasabi. Who could have guessed? A lot of shield, which can actually be really good because you do get it relatively fast, but the turret can be destroyed, although the turret has more HP than the usual. So this will be an interesting one, but Pam herself is not that great of a brawler right now, so I guess that will negatively impact a little bit the Wasabi power. Next, in 37th place we have Spike, and all Wasabi powers from now on, I would rank them as good Wasabis to have. Really solid ones. B tier and above for sure. And we start off with Spike, where now you have more spikes and they curve just so much more and for so much longer. I am generally going to say it's nearly impossible to just miss it. You're going to hit those curve balls consistently, and the best part is that you don't even need to use the second sword power. So that means you can always use the first sword power to heal you, which is such an insane advantage. Next we have Mortis, and whenever you use the long dash, you also spawn your super, which essentially means bonus damage and bonus lifesteal with every long dash, which will be really powerful, especially with the second sword power that makes your long dash appear a lot faster. So I can definitely see some super cycles with these Wasabi power being really good because of the bonus path. Next we have Frank, and it's simple. Bonus stats. You are a lot faster and you have just so much more HP. The attack breaking walls, it's ridiculous honestly, but this combined with the hypercharge, oh boy, a Frank rushing with you with the hypercharge and the Wasabi power, I am pretty sure it will be impossible to defend such attack. Next we have Shade, and at first I thought this would be relatively useless because it didn't stack, but then I remembered that you can actually just use the first gadget to then being able to close the gap with this 1 second version of your super, so this might actually be a really decent Wasabi power. Next we have Surge, and one super immediately maxes your level. Pretty good, makes your hypercharge a little bit more useless, I would say. It's a very strong Wasabi, but there is nothing really that insane to say. It's just a really solid ability to have, being able to get your super, your max level with just one super. Next we have Meg, and Meg has insane range. Pretty cool, especially to cheap snipers away. It also applies to her human form, but I just don't think that will really help Meg too much, because in closed range maps, that literally changed nothing. Next we have B, and whenever you connect any shot, spinning B around you spawns like your second gadget. And I can definitely see this being very helpful because it just gives you a lot of area control. The downside is they don't seem to deal much damage, but they are pretty hard to avoid and you can have a lot of them, so I'm guessing that that will make B have a really good amount of area control, which is always really great. Next we have Ash, and it's nothing that impressive, double the super, but the real issue comes with the hypercharge, which it's double the double of the super, which is quadruple a regular super. And if you get hit by that hypercharge super Wasabi, you're dead. That thing will destroy everything that does not have Peters. Next we have Ollie, and it says that it hypnotizes the enemy for longer. I don't know how much longer, but at the same time you also have a lot more bonus HP. And I think that the bonus hypnotize duration is honestly relatively useless, but that bonus HP can be very, very good. Next we have Bull, and Bull now auto charges the super, gains super faster, and that's it. You get a lot more supers, which I think it will be good to try to stun lock the enemies, and I can definitely see this being very helpful, but the super still is kinda slow, so unfortunately that just kinda pulls the hypercharge a little bit to the more balanced side of things. Next, in 27th place we have Guz, and you have infinite ghosts. That's really good, you will always spawn a ghost, and I can definitely see this being so good with the first star power that heals more. It will be ghosts all over the map, and I'm actually pretty excited about this one. Next, in 26th place you have Buzz, and your super has like triple the range. Pretty insane, but the real deal is the amount of HP that you have. That is a really generous bonus HP, let me tell you that. That is a game changer, really. Next I have Nita, and she spawns 2 bears. Why do I think this is better than Penny, Lola, or Jessie? It's because it combines very well with the hypercharge, number 1, and the bears are way much more aggressive and tank way much more HP. Especially because both of them work with both star power, so this makes the bears extremely powerful. Next you have Bow, and you can place infinite mines. Pretty cool, pretty straightforward, and so much control, especially if you can get a lot of supers. Man, the second gadget will go kinda crazy, but realistically speaking, use the first gadget. Next we have Eve, and whenever she receives any damage, she will spawn 1 hatchling. Back when mutations were a thing, it spawned 2 hatchlings, which was really strong. Spawning 1 is still good whenever you receive damage, but it's just nowhere near as overwhelming as it once used to be. Next we have Juju, and Grease is now massive. Bro has 12,000 HP. Like, if that thing wasn't tanky enough, now it's absurd. And this just makes countering Grease nearly impossible, especially if you use like the first star power. It will just be so much HP, it will be unbearable to deal with. Next I have Colette, and this is assuming that those projectiles deal damage based on maximum HP, obviously not the same as her basic attack, but those 200 and 400 damage, it's because they're special targets. If this is how it works, then it would get the 21st place. If it's not, then it would probably go down a couple ranks really. Next we have Piper. She shoots 2 projectiles. Very simple, very straightforward, and pretty good, especially if you connect both of them. So much damage. Next we have Barry, and every once in a while moving you spawn one of your puddles. Really good, always healing your teammates, it's broken, and the fact that this also works with your star power, it's honestly pretty crazy. I know those puddles are weaker, and that's the only reason why this ability is not even higher, honestly, because this is just insane really. Next I have Edgar, and your super has essentially infinite range. You will jump so far away that it doesn't matter how fast the enemy can be. Most of the times you will always just reach them. Doesn't matter how far they run away, your super will catch them. It's insane. I know that Edgar is not the best round in the game or anything, but just this insane amount of range to the super will for sure make the Wasabi just really powerful, and I could definitely see Edgar being a viable option in the Wasabi game modes. Next I have Rico, and oh my god, I cannot believe that they actually did this again. It says that it's a lot weaker, and it seems to be true. Like, they don't seem to really bounce that much more. It doesn't apply to the super as well, but it still applies to the gadget. So I just cannot forget the trauma that this mutation gave me back in the day, so the Wasabi has to be really strong still. In 16th place we have Pearl, and Pearl is always maximum hit. Even the super doesn't change anything, so always use the second sword power and always use the first gadget, because the amount of damage that you will deal, it's truly insane. Next we have Angelo, and now you shoot 3 projectiles. Really good, especially if anyone tries to rush into you, can just come a little bit closer and boom, they are one-shotted. And this is actually a lot more likely to happen than you might think, because Angelo has a very fast movement speed. Also the poison, so there is a lot to like about this Wasabi. From now on, all of the Wasabis will be broken. If the previous ones were good and were very solid, these ones are just beyond broken. And we start with Poco. It seems like they buffed these from the mutation times, and now you essentially cannot die. And I am very worried, especially if you consider the super. These will be so toxic. Next we have Fang, and the cycle of supers will be way too strong. That simple. And the rebounds range being so large, it just changes so much really. And especially if you consider the hypercharge, it's by far one of the strongest things ever. If you thought the hypercharge was broken, well, with the Wasabi, it will be unstoppable. Next we have Sprout. The rebounds range, it's increased every time you bounce, but every time you bounce, it also explodes. And that's so strong. I can definitely see just these type of abilities seem so strong in certain maps where people just abuse the hell out of Sprout. Next we have Gene, and his super is insanely guided. If you miss the super, congratulations, that's probably even harder than landing the super with this Wasabi power. So it will be very good, because now whenever you try to pull anyone, you will pull them for sure. So having guaranteed kills in a game like this, it will always be really good. Now starting our top 10, we have El Primo, and faster super and more HP and faster charge rate. El Primo will go bananas all over the place. It will be just so overpowered. Next in 9th place we have Tick with 3 heads as a super. Combined with the hypercharge, you will destroy anything and everyone. The cycle of supers that this allows you, the protection it gives you, it's so strong. Especially if you have the Mythic gear, it will be so good. Next we have Max, and Max now has infinite ammo. Make sure to not use her second sword power, because it would be useless. Like, infinite ammo is so strong, we'll just always be spamming attack. It will be so annoying, because Max does deal a good amount of damage. In 7th place we have Trauma Generator. They didn't nerf anything about it except the rebounds. That's all they did. Like Rico, at least they nerfed the super not getting affected by the wasabi, but they didn't even revert the bonus projectile. The bonus projectile will be such an annoying detail. Next in 6th place we have Hank, and yes, in 6th place. Last time he was in 1st, and every time you shoot Hank he poops half-baked super that does not heal you. There are better ones right now, and just make sure to not spam Hank with many projectiles. Don't be an idiot, please. Next we have Byron, and now you shoot 3 projectiles. The amount of heal, damage, super cycle. Do I even need to explain myself? You have infinite better second gadgets. That's so broken. Next we have Amber, and you shoot 2 fire beams at the same time. Double the damage, and you drop oil naturally. What is this? You'll shred anything. Amber will just be absurdly broken, especially with the hypercharge. And there is even better than this, that's the surprising part. In 3rd place we have Kenji, and Kenji has essentially infinite ammo. And if Kenji was broken with a 0.8 second reload time, I can only guess that with a 0.1 second reload time, he'll be even more broken. Because the amount of heal, super recharge rate, super charge rate, the hypercharge as well, second gadget, first gadget, everything can think of, will be just so good with infinite ammo on Kenji. Now in 2nd place we have Meeple. 3 insanely guided projectiles. And remember, guided in this game also increases the range, so this also means that Meeple technically also has more range. My god, the absurd, it's too much. You will deal 7,800 damage if anyone is too close to you. You will shred them, and because they're guided, you will always hit them. So broken. But in 1st place, it's for sure and with 0 doubts, Finks. Infinite super always around you. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Because, hear me out, it slows down enemy projectiles, so any mid-range brawler will just never hit you. It increases your own damage, so you will always deal more damage, and it increases your projectile speed always, and I'm not even discussing the possibilities with allies. It will be the single most disgusting, oppressive thing in the world, not being hit and always hitting the enemy. It will be just insane. If you have the chance to buy this thing, buy. I'm going to get things to 1k trophies while sleeping with this. And there you have it. Actually no, 59 wasabi powers rank from the very best all the way to the very worst. What are your thoughts? Write your opinions down in the comments down below. Trust me, I will read them. And I'll see you all on the next video.